Do 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 do. Hello, hello. If you can hear me, mic is on. Webcam is on. Start screen sharing. We are broadcasting. It's excited to be able to be here with you. We have a couple of minutes before the top of the hour. I like to come on early when I do webinars, get an opportunity to talk to you. Also give those that are coming online a chance to log in, give them an opportunity without us having to get in the way of them missing out on a few bit of information. So we're recording this, so I'll make it available. I'm going to download it on MP4, and we're going to upload it on our YouTube account and make it available and disseminate the information. We're in the process of a complete rebuild of our website, so soon the iPoint.tv website will be completely rebuilt, and we're probably in the coming days, hopefully by Monday morning, the website will be set, and we'll have our new our webinars placed on the website. So I hope you're hearing me okay. Remember, you can message me and let me know how this sounds, and you can go on the chat box there and put any information, send it directly to me, and I'll get a chance to chat with you and talk with you some. I want to make sure that it's coming out fine. I checked it on my other devices. Everything should be good. I'm here in my office, it's my home office, so you're going to hear dogs barking in the background. You might hear someone scream, "Hey, Clark!" It's usually my mother-in-law. That's what I call her. She might, she doesn't understand all this technology stuff. She just knows that when she is trying to figure out why Fox News is not working on her television, she needs me to fix it. So anyway, just bear with me if that does happen. But this is one of the benefits of having an online business, which is what we're going to speak about. That you have, we're going to help you create your online business, your online presence, make money through the internet. And so I'm going to spend 30 minutes to an hour chatting with you. If you have questions, they always work out best to ask those questions online. I decided I was not going to broadcast this over Facebook Live just for the fact that I wanted to utilize my efforts to directing to our webinar site. This is our second webinar that we've produced specifically on this expertise.com account. They seem to be a very good tool. I did one as a test and it did very well. Then I played with more, worked on our page, tried to see all the different and have an opportunity to be able to meet with you. Now, what we also have available is if you would like to be a co-panelist on, and it would take just 30 minutes of playing with the software. I'll walk you through it to where you can be part of this entire discussion. All right, so it's top of the hour. It's 10 o'clock sharp, and I'm doing this at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, Central Standard Time. So there's my stamp. And I'm going to do something that you may not know what this means, but I'm going to do it so it says that's where I'm going to edit when I don't edit. When I take the video out, I'll put an opening, a closing, and get it all done, and then we'll begin our chat and discussion. I'm excited about this. We're going to talk about your online business, talk to you on how I've been able to generate some capital through the internet, been able to sell some products, and I want to be able to help you sell some products too and show you how you can use this technology. So let's go ahead and begin. Hey, I want to thank you so much for being with me here on my webinar. This is actually the second webinar of on this platform, on expertise.tv. I'm going to produce these more often. We just scheduled a new webinar for the 6th of February. So this Monday, we're going to do another webinar speaking specifically in the area of how to build an online commerce or e-commerce business. And it has never been easier for you to utilize online business. But let's begin with a couple of things. First, I want to let you know we're going to work on how to produce your show, how to communicate with your audience, how to add advertisement to your content, and how to begin a SVOD service. Those are what we're going to focus on in these next coming webinars. This one particularly is going to be more of an introduction of not just what we're doing here as webinar, but an introduction of you having the opportunity to start your own business. For those of you who do not know me, my name's Clark Ortiz. I've been a businessman since I was a teenager. I sold my first business at the age of 14. I started a company. It was a candy company, a candy store actually, and it all came out of necessity. I used to work in the tomato fields and cotton fields, and I used to pick tomatoes, and I made a little bit of money working in the fields of South Texas, and I would take that money and buy candy. And then when I went to school, I had these pockets full of bubble gum, chocolate bars, everything you can imagine. And yeah, I was a little pudgy, but I would give them to my friends. And then after a while, they started saying, I want to buy that from you. Will you sell me this? Because there was some stuff I didn't want to give away. I wanted to keep for myself, or I had it set up for somebody else. And they said they wanted to buy it from me. So I started selling them the candy. So then I went to the candy store and I asked them for a couple of boxes of candy. And he says, why do you want boxes of candy? He kept seeing me buy these boxes of candy. He was charging me per piece, but he's selling me boxes of candy. Now, 10 years old. And so what I did is I would take the boxes of candy and I would sell them to my friends. I'd run down to the store at lunchtime from school. I'd buy these boxes. I'll come back. And then when lunch was over, everyone wanted some kind of dessert. So I had candies or I had a pastry, little, Hostess Twinkies or something, whatever they wanted. And I'd sell it to them in the schoolyard. And I used to run around with a briefcase, for those of you who remember me, in Ed Downs, and I had this little black briefcase that said Tootsie Roll on it because my dad worked for Tootsie Roll. It was just destiny that I was going to be sweet. Anyway, so I started selling these candies out of my little black Tootsie Roll briefcase. It was an actual plastic briefcase. And then in the summertime, I quit buying those candies because, of course, school was over. And the candy guy asked me if I was going to buy any more. And I said, well, I don't think so. And he says, you know what? Let me give you the phone number to the guy who provides us the candy. And so I went ahead and talked to that guy, and he gave me, I bought, I think, probably 5 boxes at wholesale price. Then I saw, wait a minute, the store was charging me 50 cents a candy bar. But when I bought them directly, I was paying like 20 cents a candy bar. And I realized, wait a minute, there's a markup here. And so that was the beginning of my understanding of how business was working. So I bought these candy bars. I went to my grandmother's house. My grandmother and my uncle lived out in a community in South Texas. We call it colonias, which are like little colonies where people live together. They built their own homes. It was usually a street, maybe 2 streets or a cul-de-sac. And you would have anywhere between 50, 75, maybe 100 houses there. It was always kids running around with their bicycles. So I started buying these candy bar boxes by the box loads, and I began to sell them in my uncle had a small, like a miniature house or an efficiency in the back of the house, and I set that up as the little candy store. And the kids kept coming, and then they started asking me for sodas. So I went to the store and I bought sodas for 10 cents a can, and I was selling them for 50 cents a can. And then little by little, people started asking me for rice and beans. So I went ahead and called the candy guy. I said, where can I buy rice and beans? And they gave me a number to a distributor. And then someone said they wanted milk. And when they said they wanted milk, well, it was a perishable product. So the milkman comes and asks me, where am I going to store the milk? I said, well, I guess in my refrigerator. He says, no, I'll take care of it. So he left, and he came back with a whole refrigerator with the doors. I said, how much is this? He says, as long as you're selling my product, I'm going to make sure that you have the shelf space so that way you can sell my products and that everything stays fresh. So I ended up with, I don't know, a $1,500 refrigerator for free. I didn't pay anything for it. And so then I went ahead and called the guy that was supplying my rice and beans. I said, "Hey, is there shelving that you provide that I can store my rice and beans?" And he also had canned goods. And he says, "Yeah, we'll provide the shelves." And then little by little, we started putting shelves in there. And so with a matter of a couple of years, here I had this nice little candy store. My grandmother and my uncle were working there. And after a few years, so now I'm about 14 years old, and my uncle wanted to charge me rent. And so I said, just take money from the register as long as I have enough to buy the supplies. Every once in a while, I'd go over there and I'd grab $20 or $30 or $40. But they would use the money, just use the money for whatever you want. I didn't care. I was 14 years old. What did I care? So then one day my uncle finally said, "Look, what are you going to do with this thing? I'm going to shut you down." Because I had a lot of traffic. I had, I don't know, 4 shelves, a double-sided, refrigerators, freezers. We had ice creams. We had soda, rice, beans. People were even asking, "Do you sell beer? Do you sell?" Now, of course, I couldn't do that. And so I went in and I told my uncle, and my grandmother, I said, "Why don't you buy me out?" And so they said, "Well, how much you want?" And I said, "Well, I put $40 in it when I started." So they went to the register, grabbed $40. They gave me the $40, and I sold my first business. Now, someone says, "You sold a convenience store," because that's what I had, was a convenience store, for $40. Well, because I couldn't spend any time there. I had to sell it. But I made, I don't know, thousands of dollars in 3 to 4 years. And I made a profit. But more than anything, I was helping the family out. So I didn't care. And I was just a kid. And so I took the $40 and I stayed in town and I bought a bike and I fixed up the bicycle and I sold the bike for $80. So then I bought another bike for $15, fixed it up. I sold it for $50. And so I just started buying and selling. I started doing door-to-door sales. And so throughout these years, it doesn't take long to realize there has to be a markup. You have to have your game on. There has to be a hustle. But one key thing that I've learned that I want to teach you now is when you are helping someone else make money, they will give you the refrigerator to keep their product fresh, to keep making them money. Get what I'm saying? The grocers were providing the shelving for me because I was selling their goods and services, or their goods. So they wanted to make sure it was presented right. The soda company that I bought my soda cans from, they provided me soda machines. They didn't charge me for them, or maybe it was worked inside the profit of the product that we sold. But they were making money. And so that's the way business has always been. That's the way we do our business. So you may ask, how am I making money? By giving you a free webinar. I could charge for these webinars. And you're going to see as the weeks go by how valuable these webinars are. My interest is to give them to you for free because here's what I discovered in my business. My business today is called, I have 2 companies. I have one company called Ortiz Media Group, Inc. It's my private company. My wife and I own 100% of the company. It is a marketing and advertising company. It is a consulting company. I started the media company, Ortiz Media Group, in 1994. It's my oldest company that I hold today. And then my second company is called iPoint Television, where we sell a streaming service. And we provide a broadcast everywhere technology where you can broadcast on your cell phones and on your tablets, and you can broadcast on your laptop and so forth. And so as I built iPoint Television, I reached out to broadcasters, and I started it in 2009. 2010, we started selling in the United Kingdom to some services. 2011, we focused here in the area. And then, of course, 2012, I gave other individuals opportunity to invest in the company. And as the company begins to make profit in the possibly this year or next year, they're going to be able to eat off of their benefits of they buying a small amount of shares of the company. And so everybody's going to be able to benefit from this company. It's called iPoint Television. And so as I was selling iPoint Television services, I found that my market of who I'm reaching is big, but those that are interested in buying are very small. And I figured it was going to grow as the internet would grow faster and faster and as other companies would catch on to this technology. But it has taken a little while for them to catch on to this technology. So, we've struggled. We've worked it, and the money that comes in goes out. I keep feeding this business. I subsidize it the best that I can and keep it going because I know that this space is the whole future of communications, television, and broadcast communications. So, the past year, 2016, here's what I discovered. There were some clients that we had that came from broadcast, and they were having a difficult time understanding the value of streaming online. And because streaming online now, you'll reach more people on the internet than you would ever reach on a TV terrestrial television station. If you looked at dollars per dollars, the cost that it is to be on a terrestrial television station or a TV network versus owning your own network on internet, you'll reach more people per capita on the internet than you would on the TV station. Now, I could be on NBC television in Dallas, Texas, and I might be on prime time, which is 8 p.m. time slot on Thursday, which is the number one night of the week. And if I want to be on that time slot, I'm going to have to pay. I don't know what the price is, but I would have to guess it's going to cost probably close to $100,000 for a half-hour slot, prime time on NBC. Might be less, might be more. But in the Metroplex, there's 2.9 million homes. Let's call it 3 million homes. And if we look at 3 million homes in the Metroplex, and I'm on prime time, the rating of NBC, one of the number one rating, receives what's called I'm going to call it a 4-share. That's a rating system, a 4-share. Here's what a 4-share is. A 4-share basically says 4% of people using television are watching your show. That's huge. That's a huge number nowadays. Single digits are still huge numbers. So here's what that means. Out of 3 million homes, then what you have is you have 120,000 people, 120,000 people, or 120,000 homes that are watching your program out of 3 million people. Let's see, did I do that right? 3 million homes. What is 4%? 120,000. 4% of 3 million homes is 120,000 homes. So out of the 120,000 homes, if I paid $100,000 for those homes, divide that. So those homes cost me $100,000 divided by 120,000 homes cost me 83 cents a home. I'm going somewhere with this math. You got to know your numbers if you're doing business, right? So I have 120,000 homes out of 3 million homes on the number one station at a 4-share, which is a huge number. I'm reaching 120,000 homes. It's not a lot of people. I want you to think about that just for a second. $100,000, if that's what the cost is, which I believe it's probably a bit more than $100,000. We talk about prime time, 8 p.m., NBC television in the Dallas market. If I get a 4-share and there's 3 million people using television, I'm going to have 120,000 homes watching me. See, calculate those numbers for a minute. 120,000 homes watching that 30-minute show. That's powerful. That is powerful. It cost me 83 cents a home to reach out to them. But what if I told you you can reach 3 million people? Watch this. You can reach 3 million people, the same 3 million people. We have one network that reached 4 million people last month. 4 million people, one network. Divide that by their bill. At 4 million people, they're spending probably at $1,200. $1,200. Watch this. $1,200. They reached, if I can hit my buttons right, 4 million people. Because they're talking about the world now. It cost them 3,000 of a penny for them to reach 4 million people. It cost them, let's just put it like this. They reached 4 million people at $1,200 for the month. So let's look at the math here for a second. The math says that if I go on primetime television on NBC 23, I'm going to have 120,000 people that are going to watch me right now. But if I go online and I spend $1,200, I'll reach 4 million people in a 30-day period. If you want to calculate that and just divide it up, if you take the 4 million people, let's just divide it up in the day, divide that by 30. That's 130,000 people a day you're reaching for $1,200 of internet streaming cost. Now you say, wait a minute, are you telling me if I stream, how could that be? I'm buying airtime on an NBC affiliate TV station in Dallas, Texas, and all I'm going to reach is 120,000 people? Yes. But if I spend $1,200 a month on internet streaming, I can actually reach 4 million people? Yes. Now, think about that for a second. The only difference in this equation is the 30 minutes on NBC versus 24/7 on your own streaming. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a 30-minute blast? You take $100,000 and you put it in a 30-minute blast to reach people in Dallas, Texas on prime time, or if you take that same $100,000 and if you divide that by $1,200 a month, that's 83 months. Divide that by 12. That's almost 7 years of broadcasting. The same budget of that 130-minute block. See, this is where you need to recognize this. The market on the internet is bigger. The 4 million people that this broadcaster is reaching are here in the United States, they're in Latin America, they're in Africa, they're in Europe, they're in all these different places. And our technology provides all the analytics of who is watching your channel. That's what our technology provides. Where are they coming from? What's their IP address? We provide all that information for you. So you're able to download your IP addresses, and there's another tool that you can purchase that Google provides that you can upload all your IP addresses, and it'll put those dots on a map, and you'll see where your audience is. I go on the air this morning. I'm on the air this morning, and there are people in Africa, in Europe, in London watching me. Cost $1,200. That's an average. Now, our services, we sell a streaming package for $300 a month. $300 a month, you can get close to 1 million people watching you for $300 a month. You can get close to it. And we're talking good quality, not the quality that you're seeing right now on the streaming. This is an inferior product of what I have. What I have is a superior product, because our background service that we provides all the streams. Watch this. That our streaming company, you'll have a link you can put on Facebook, you have a link you can put on Twitter, you have a link that you can put on Snapchat, you got a link that you can put on your website, a link that you can put on a mobile app, a link that you can put on set-top box, a link you can put on smart TVs, a link you can send to a TV station, a link you can use to send to a satellite company that if you want to still reach primetime NBC, Dallas, Texas, 8 o'clock in the evening, and you want to be able to pay you can pay that $100,000 block, you can use our technology to feed the station. That's what we have. Well, I discovered that in our pursuit for clients, they didn't quite understand what was happening in the industry. And so this is why I'm creating this entire webinar platform, so that way I can begin to instruct and show you and show many others what this space is about and teach you. So after I have a conversation with a new client or a person that has questions or they may not feel this is a viable market because they're stuck in the old 1980s technology of television and satellite and cable. after I have a conversation with them, then they say, how come not everyone else is doing this? I said, it's because not everyone else knows. And that's where I had an epiphany. I need to educate people. I need to educate you on how to utilize this technology for your product. So let me show you something just for a second before I get into some stats, because I'm going to give you an announcement that Facebook made just the past 24 hours. It's good. It's a real game changer. I have this little product here. This little product is it's a mount for your car and for your phone. Check this out. You may or may not have seen it. I don't know. But here's the product. Let me get it out of the package. It's our product. We buy wholesale. Made in China. Anyway. So it comes with this little round magnet. Check out that magnet. And it has this little round dot. This little mount. And it sticks on there. And then it comes with a little sticker that you put on the back of the dot. And you stick this, you peel the back off, and you stick it on the dash of your car. I have one of these in all my cars. Actually, in one car, I have two of them because I have two phones. And so this magnet swivels because this item, the mount here is round. Can you see how the mount is round? See, the mount is round. So I got this little product here. All right. You take this little plate. There's a little metal plate that comes with it. Comes with your little gadget. See this little plate? And I glued it to the back of this is my cell phone. I glued it to the back of my cell phone. Okay? So now I have this mounted on my car. This is in my hands. And when I go into my car, I do this. Is that not cool? That's all I do. Now, look. That little mount. Now, there's other companies that have some bigger, some smaller. Mine's super strong. Has a little rubber knot in there, a little washer. That is important because that helps it not to slide off. If you take that off, it'll slide off. See that? There's my mount. So if you buy a mount, if you buy a phone mount for your car at Best Buy, your typical phone mount, and I went to all the Best Buys, went to Fry's. The cheapest mount for your car runs about $24 to $29. That's the cheapest. The average price for a mount in your car runs about $39 to $49. You can get some better, some bigger. But all those mounts, most of those mounts have suction cups on your window. They have something that sticks in your grill. And you put your phone on there and the phone falls as it gets hot or whatever it may be. Or it doesn't connect right, or they break. Mine that I've ever bought at those stores are made out of plastic, and they break. This thing, the only problem that I ever had in one of my cars is that this little gadget right here, the little sticker with the heat pulled off on one of my cars because of the type of plastic that I put it on. So what I did is I just put super glue and stuck it right on there. And I'm not worried about it because it's just a small little dot. And I can clean it up when I sell the car. Big deal. But that thing's on there, and I'm forever going to be using this. Now I've had it on my car for over 1.5 years, 2 years. So what I decided to do with this little product is I said, let me go ahead and sell these products. I want to sell these products online. And when I went online, I found that I can buy these products at wholesale price. Depending on how many I buy, I can get them for as little as $2, anywhere between $2 to $4 each one of these units. $2 to $4 each one of these units. That's wholesale price. It's my price. But now what we can do is we can take this product, I can produce a little video, and I can post it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else, and I can start selling this. Because right now I know if you're watching this video, there isn't anybody that hasn't seen it that says, I want one of these. I've sold more of these out of my car, and I have a glove box full of these things, and my friends, family members that come into the car, some of them I give them away. But others, I sell it to them. And I'll sell this product for $20, $20 right out of the car. Now, I'm not saying I open up the glove box and say, hey, I'm selling these things, but just people. They see what I got and said, hey, I want one of those. I said, well, I can sell you one. I sell these for $20. Would you like one? Really? And I take it out and $20 or $10. You want 2 of them? 3 of them? Give me $10. Give me $30. I'll give you 3 of them. Well, what do I have in it? I got $6. Do the math. If it cost me $2 and I sold it for $10, I made $8, right? If I sell it for $20, I'm making $18 on this little product. But you had to see it. In order for you to see it, to understand how this little product works. Now, you're going to go online and you're going to figure out how you can buy these things too. And there's a bunch of products. Let's see what I have here. Because what I do is I buy products all the time. And all my different products that I buy, here we go. Here's another product. Look at this. If you have a car that does not have Bluetooth, look right here. I buy this thing. This is a retail $49.95 to $55.99 item. This is solid. This is solid stuff. Comes with a little clip. You clip this. You see the little magnet? See that? Love magnets. You clip that to your visor in your car, and it merges through Bluetooth in your car, and you can start talking. You can phone calls. You can listen to music in stereo, whatever. And it comes in 2 colors, black and white. I buy these products through my supplier. I get these products for as little, let's see here. This one right here, I believe I paid $6. Maybe a little less, but I'm going to say $6. Wholesale. You got to buy them in bulk. And they take a couple of weeks to get in. And then I produce a little video, how it works. I put it online. Voila. I'm selling another product. Okay. What about security? Here's another product. Little video camera. Same thing. But all these products, in order to sell them, you have to have a shelf. Just like when I was a little boy, had to have a shelf to put my candy bars, put my cans, my sodas, I had a refrigerator to sell my milk. And there's shelves everywhere that I can display these products. And where am I going to put this? I'm going to put it on one of the greatest platforms to sell a product that I've ever seen in my entire life. I can go on television and I can spend $1,000, or I could spend $100,000 for 8 p.m. time slot and reach 120,000 people. And I might get, let's say, a 1% turn, which is usually what you do on budget. So 1% turn, that means I'll sell 1,200 people. And if I sell that magnet unit for $20 a piece, so I just made $24,000. I just lost. See that? I just lost almost a little over $75,000 if I paid $100,000 for that time slot. So did that time slot work for me? No. But if I'm reaching 4 million people, because the world is a smaller place with the internet, if I'm reaching 4 million people, 1% of 4 million people is 40,000 people, right? And I sell these things at $20 a pop, I make $800,000. You see how that works? You build your audience, you sell your product, you make your money. Build your audience, sell your product, make your money. So that's how this works. Now, there's different tools to help you. PayPal provides you tools. You can build a website on Wix to set up a store. And go to your bank to set up your bank account. But the easiest way to create your business is you have to have a website. Make sure your website is mobile app optimized. Put your broadcast inside your website. Begin to build your network and build your audience. That's what we do at iPoint Television. We help you build your audience. Now, our platform reaches millions of homes, but more than that, we're available in even more homes. Because we want to provide the streaming. And I want to show you something. I'm going to try something I haven't tried before. I'm going to start a screen share. Let's see. Start screen share. Why was it canceled? I hit screen share and it says canceled, and I don't know why it says canceled. It's not letting me screen share, so I have to call this company to find out why it doesn't screen share. Anyway, this is episode number 2 on this webinar, so I'll figure out it might be the browser that I'm using, which is probably the case. Everybody wants me to go to Chrome. But anyway, Facebook announced, what I was going to show you was Facebook announced on, they announced, I'll give you the date. Yeah, the date of this announcement today, yesterday, 2 days ago, January 31st. Here's what they announced. Facebook tunes into the television market. The social network's developing an app for television set-top boxes, hoping to tap more ad dollars. Little set-top boxes. Facebook is building an app to go inside these little set-top boxes called Roku, Kindle, Google, and on that little set-top box, you're going to put an app in there to where they can start disseminating broadcasters. A greater time for you to begin broadcasting than today. And we want to help you. I want to show you how you can advertise. So there's some things that we're going to do this day. Let's talk a little bit about Monday, because this was just an introduction, and let's say 33 minutes into this. So here's what we're going to do. This coming Monday, the 6th of February, we're doing another webinar, 10 o'clock in the morning. And this webinar, I'm going to walk you through how to build advertising, and we're going to do screen shares and so forth. I'll do it right now, but I don't want to interrupt this thing, and I can't do screen share for whatever reason. It's not letting me do it. Let's try it one more time. It's not letting me do a screen share on Firefox is what I'm using. It wants me to go to Chrome, which I don't like Chrome. But anyway, yeah, it's not letting me do a screen share. But here's what will happen. I'm going to do a screen share, and I'm going to show you how you build your marketing, your advertising campaigns. And you're going to put $20 in a PayPal account. And when you have a product to sell, and if you need a product to sell, I'll provide the products for you. I'll sell these products to you wholesale. And what you'll do is for $20 or more, the magic number is $200, but for as low as $20, you can make money. And you produce a video using your cell phone. You're going to produce a video of what it is that you're selling, and you're going to put it on your fan page. So you need to have a fan page, which iPoint builds for you. And this fan page is where you're going to start selling your product over Facebook. And then from there, you can advertise on Facebook and Instagram, all from the same portal. And we're going to walk you through it, and we're going to teach you how to use this. You're going to open up your store, and you're going to have a place where you can one click, and it's going to go right to your website, and your website's going to give you an opportunity to sell your product. That's what we do at iPoint Television. We provide services for people to start broadcasting, to build their audience. And once they build their audience, then they can sell their products. And many of our clients, you may be watching their videos or their network, and you don't know that we're providing the back end for them. Really. Because what we do is we build what we call a broadcast everywhere technology, where whatever it is that you're creating, you're going to broadcast it through video, and everyone's going to see it wherever there's a screen, and you only have to publish it in one location, and it's going to go everywhere. You publish it on an iPoint streaming service, and it's going to be made available everywhere. That's what a broadcast everywhere technology. I'll tell you what our prices are. Our prices are very simplistic. There is a setup fee and a monthly. And depending on the scale that you build, it will depend on the amount that you pay. So we start off at a $2,500 setup fee to set up everything that you need to get you inside iPoint, all of iPoint, get you on web and e-commerce site, and provide you the streaming. And then there's a monthly for the management and for the bandwidth of $300 a month. That's where we start. And then you want your bandwidth bill to go up, because the higher the bandwidth bill grows is because there's more and more people that are coming to you. And here's the way our company works. Most streaming companies penalize you as you grow. I don't. I make it cheaper. And we can even make it so so affordable for you, the bigger your audience is, to where you'll eventually no longer have to pay for your bandwidth. So you start at you're starting at $300 a month, and you're going to have so much bandwidth. And then as your bandwidth price, your 300 a month, you're actually paying per gig price. So what happens is that the more audience that you have, the cheaper your per gig price gets. So we want you to grow your audience, and we want to take that per gig price and bring it down. And then when you reach a certain plateau of a certain audience, we're going to engage advertising inside your network, inside your channel, where there are companies like Visa, Ford Motor Company, Chase Bank, Central Market, Macy's. They're all parking money on our servers, waiting for people to trigger the advertising module, so that way they can send a check to those people who are providing the content. Here's what this means. You produce the content, the audience comes in and watches, the advertising module goes into the streaming, and you suddenly begin to extract money that's sitting on these servers that the advertisers have parked there to spend on a monthly basis. There are tens of millions of dollars a month being parked on ad servers that are being exhausted to those that have an audience. The challenge is you need an audience. When you build your audience, you're going to pull them in because they pay what's called CPM. You might want to write this down. CPM, it's cost per mil. Mil is a Roman number for thousand. So it's cost per thousand. So what'll happen is if a commercial for, let's say there's another product, right? This is a keychain. You may have seen it online. It's USB. You can put keys, but I don't like keys. But I love USB devices because I got money and contracts and so forth on my USB devices, right? So what I do is the only key that I really have. Watch this. This looks like a key, but it's a USB device. So what happens is that when you have an audience and this guy who sells this product, he parks $200 in a server and says, I'm going to pay you $1 for every 1,000 people that sees my commercial. Just prove to me that 1,000 people see my commercial. And that's where iPoint comes in, because we give you all the analytics that proves how many people saw that commercial, how many people are watching your channel and they see that commercial. So if you have 100,000 people, check this out. If you have 100,000 people, so that's 100, right? 100 times $1, that's $100, right? So that's $100 that if you have 100,000 people watching, you're going to make $100 from this client. He's going to pay you $100 every time that commercial runs. If you have 100,000 people watching, he's going to pay you $100. And let me tell you what's so powerful about this. That's only if he's paying $1 CPM. There are companies that are paying from $2 to $10 on our platform CPM, 2 to 10. So I went down low, $1. So you make $100 off the person. If you have 100,000 people watching, you make $100 for every person that sees this ad. Whether they buy or they don't buy, it doesn't matter. You get $100. It's going to come to your bank account. It's going to get transferred to your account, and you're going to make money off of that. So that's if you have 100,000 people. But if you have 1 million people, now you just made $1,000 every time this commercial runs. Well, guess what? I don't even know the number. There are hundreds of different products and different people that are advertising. And on a given 30-minute show, if you have 100,000 people watching a 30-minute show, you have 16 commercials. And if you're making $100 every time a commercial runs, that's $1,600, $1,600 on that 30-minute show. See, you got to build your audience, and you'll extract those advertising dollars. So Facebook understands this. So Facebook says we need to increase. Our advertising is making a boatload of money. They're finally making money. So they said, we're going to increase this. We want to enter into the set-top business. We want to get into that TV set. We want to put television on these tablets, on these mobile phones. But here's what Facebook does not do. They do not create content. They're shelves. We're the content that goes on the shelves that should be for sale. And that's what iPoint does. iPoint builds the platform, or builds the pipeline to get you up on the shelf, to get you to start building your audience. So that way you can start extracting those advertising dollars. That's what we do here at iPoint. Now, there's a lot of information that I gave you. I've spent now probably 40 minutes, 42 minutes on this webinar. I want you to go back and listen to this webinar. We're making this webinar public. So if you're watching it live here, just stay tuned because we're going to make it public in the coming days. We'll make it available for everybody to see this webinar. And you go back and listen to this over and over and over again. Write some notes down. Ask me questions and I'll answer them. Or write the questions down in the next webinar. I want you to ask me the questions and post them on there. And we'll see how you can catch on this thing. In 30 days, you can actually have your channel running, beginning to build your audience. And there's pages, there's other webinars that we're going to do on how to build your audience. We'll show you how to build, how to engage, how to communicate, how to talk. Remember what I said, how to produce your show, how to communicate, how to add advertisement, how to create a subscription video on demand product. That's what we're going to do here on these webinars. Well, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this webinar. I'm going to go and wrap this thing up. I want to encourage you to go to my social media sites and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Every single social media platform that's worth something, I'm on. And here's how you find me. All you have to do is remember my name, Clark Ortiz. All of my social media is my name, Clark Ortiz. Not a number one, not lowercase, uppercase, whatever, just Clark Ortiz. So Twitter is @ClarkOrtiz, Facebook @ClarkOrtiz, Instagram @ClarkOrtiz. Everything Clark Ortiz you'll see is me. And if you can't remember that, just Google my name, Clark Ortiz. You'll see all the different pages that have all my information. I have a website, ClarkOrtiz.com. That's also going through an update too. So follow me for more information. The best place for you to receive information in these instructions are not necessarily one-on-one. Don't ask me if you want to have a conference call with me quickly. Later on, we're going to offer, for pay, one-on-one coaching. I'm going to charge you for those one-on-one coaching where you schedule a time and we'll spend time with you as a consultant. There isn't a single person, I'm going to make this statement here, there isn't a single individual that knows as much as I know in this space. I've yet to meet them, and I go to all the trade shows. I go to all the meetings. I speak at the trade shows. I participate in trade shows. I meet with the people. There's plenty of people that know more than I do about specific topics, but that person doesn't know everything that I know because I come from building TV stations in the 80s all the way to streaming online into your mobile phones in the 21st century. So everything in between. I've built satellite dishes. I've built I participated in launches of platforms on satellites, built TV stations, rebuilt transmitters, literally tear them apart, put them all back together, rebuilt antennas, talked to the developers of antennas and all the technology, master control studios, et cetera, et cetera. I've done all that. And I've built businesses online, over 40 television networks we've built online and on terrestrial. We have networks that are on cable today, and a new one that we'll announce later that we're starting on a cable platform in the Detroit area. So there isn't a single person that knows as much as I know about this space, and I want to give this information to you. I'm giving it to you for free over the webinar. Share these webinars, share the information. This is not the time to keep this information to yourself, because if you keep it to yourself, you'll never grow your business. But when you tell everybody about your network and even show them what you're doing, don't be afraid that they're going to do it without you. They're going to need you to get it done. I know what I'm saying. That's how this works. The word broadcast, let's talk about that just for a moment. Very important. The word broadcast means to sow your seed abroad, to scatter abroad. A broadcast came from the sower who back in the days used to reach their hand into the bag of seed and they used to throw the seed. They called that broadcasting. So as you broadcast something, the seed goes down into the earth, and there's a natural order that God placed on this planet of whatever a man sows, that he shall also reap. Buddhists say karma. What you do unto one person is going to be done back to you. So the Bible calls it sowing. Buddhists call it karma. Just to give you an idea, for those of you, whatever genre you may be, Christian, not Christian, I don't know. But we all know the golden rule is treat people the way you would like to be treated. So if you broadcast this information, you share this information, what will happen is that fruit, that byproduct, that karma is going to come right back to you, and it's going to benefit you. But if you keep it to yourself, you keep this information to yourself, then what happens, you're sowing, you're stealing, you're sowing theft. You're not helping another person get ahead. What's going to happen, people will not help you get ahead. So help people get ahead. Give this information out. Go ahead and share these broadcasts. I'm going to disseminate this information over all social medias to where it gives you an opportunity to press share. Go to my next webinar. Go on my website. You can register for my next webinar page. Whenever you see the post on my Facebook, follow my next webinar. And I send you reminders via text, via email. You'll see reminders of the webinar so you won't miss out on the webinar. And if by chance you can't make it to the webinar, register anyway, because then you'll have access to the delay of the webinar. And I just want to keep all this information available to you perpetually. All right? Okay, guys, I'm Clark Ortiz. Thank you so much. Visit my website, iPoint.tv. And there's a section there to where you subscribe for free. Put your name and your email address so that way we can send you reminders of these events that we take place. Also, download our application. I have to say this. So in the app store of any phone, you hit the app store and you hit the search button. It's down below. All right. When you hit that search button, it's going to open up the search bar on the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to type in that search bar. My internet's not running very fast right now. But you're going to type in the search bar. There we go. You're going to type in the search bar, iPoint Global. Like that. See that? iPoint Global. And hit search. And when the iPoint Global pops up, here's what pop up here. iPoint Global. There it is. That's our application. And download the application. It's a free download. And it is free to watch. See there are the screenshots. We have movies, we have videos, we have live networks, and your channel can be on here too. It's all available to you for free. Okay? Download it free. It's an Android and it's on iPhone. You go to the iPoint application, you download it, and it'll show up on your icon. Add your icon like that. And you hit it, and it's going to launch the iPoint channel. And when it launches the iPoint channel, what will happen is it's going to ask you for a registration. It's a free registration. You'll see the screenshot like that, so you know you're downloading the right thing. And then it's going to ask you for your name and your email address and your password. You create your password. Please remember the typeset of your password. Write it down. It's very, very important. We don't want anybody stealing. I have some of the best security in my application. My application has yet to be hacked. And I'm not challenging anybody to hack it, but it hasn't been hacked in all these years. And so if you type your password or your email wrong, it won't let you in. And we'll have to reset it from home base. Then you have your channels that you can start watching. These are all live TV channels, all the different TV networks. When you hit one of those networks, see, I'm doing it upside down or backwards here. When you hit one of those channels, what will happen is the network going to launch. And when the network launches, you flip it on its side. Of course, I'm not using high-speed internet right now. I'm just using my cell phone service. And so when the network, this is NRB, National Religious Broadcasters Network. So their internet streams are not as fast as my internet streams. It takes a little while, and then they'll start watching the network. When you have your Wi-Fi on, high-speed internet working, of course, it goes fast, and we recommend that you do everything on broadband. Anything else I'm missing? I don't think I am. Send me any questions that you have, and we'll make sure to respond to your questions and give you some answers. All right, guys, y'all are the best. I'm Clark Ortiz, your friend, giving you all the knowledge that I can give you to help you make some moolah. All right, till next time, remember to be great.